have Stan over here right now, and you know, if you guys are into, or if you guys want to learn about competition flying with tipplers, this is a good chance and opportunity for you guys to fire away and ask any questions. We have Stan in front of the camera. I'm behind the camera. I'll be reading the comments to him, and he will be replying to his best ability.
Yeah, before we start, I want to talk about ventilation.
So yeah, go ahead. We got 3 people on right now. I don't know how many more will pop on, but you go ahead. I can always post this after to the recording.
Here goes. Ventilation in a loft is a must. Now, I've been into some lofts where you can't even breathe in there because there's so many birds and the ventilation just isn't there. Now, if you can't stand the smell in there and the dust in there, imagine those pigeons are stuck in there, and that dust affects their flying, affects their lungs. So ventilation is a must. And the coop, even in the wintertime, you don't close anything up. If they can't take the cold, then that's too bad, but ventilation is a must right there.
So with ventilation, Stan, where do you, you know, is it top of the loft, bottom of the loft?
No,
I know warm air rises.
Yeah. My loft is ventilated on all 4 sides, okay? Basically, it's more on the southern side, okay? But there's also on the eaves of the roof, it's open, and in the back, the window can blow right through and blow a lot of that dust out. But there's plenty of light and the ventilation in there, and as far as cold, I've never had any birds die on me unless they were sick, something happened to them. But from just the sheer cold, no, they can take it.
So all the ventilations, they all stay wide open even throughout the winter. What about drafts?
Well, in the wintertime, I can block up underneath the roof there, the back of it, I can block it up, and this way it's a little warmer in there, and even the sides. But the front, I don't block up. It's open all the time, and even during the wintertime, I'll open the doors, and they've got plenty of air and ventilation in there. And like I said, I've been in lofts where it's jam-packed with tipplers or pigeons, and there's just too many in there. You can see some of these videos on YouTube and even on Facebook, and those birds are shoulder to shoulder. Now, imagine having 20 or 30 people in your house living with you. No, it's too many birds. If you want to fly quality tipplers, the quality is in a few numbers, okay? You can fly a stock, let's say of 20 or so like that. You can probably condition them and get them to fly maybe up to 10 hours on the day. If the day has to be good, the bird's got to be right, feeling good, and you can get it. But basically, the lower numbers are the way to go if you want to fly competitively. Because basically in a contest, unless it's a stock flight, you're only going to fly between 3 and maybe in Canada, I think they allow up to 12, okay? But basically, the more numbers you fly, the more chances of disqualification can happen.
So Mark asked a question. He said he doesn't have any tipplers, but would like to get some. What do you look for when selecting a new bird?
What do you look for with birds?
Yeah, if someone new, like, you know, I guess.
All right. If it depends on what he wants from the birds. What does he want to do? Does he want to fly competitively, or does he want to fly?
So, Mark, what kind of flying do you want to do? Do you want to just be like a backyard flyer that just enjoys the birds, or are you looking into getting into the competition side with tipplers? I don't know how quickly they get back to me, but
well, if you want to fly competitively, you're going to have to start with good quality stock. And good quality stock can be had from different guys. And then once the birds are in your hands, then they're your birds, and it's up to you to cultivate them in the proper way so that you can raise youngsters and get them to fly a long time.
So he said just to watch them, so he's not looking to compete.
It sounds like he's a pleasure flyer. Okay, yeah. So then
it's like any tipper at that point, right?
There's no sense in him buying quality birds.
Yeah.
Because the quality stock is going to fly. They're going to fly a long time. If you just want a backyard flyer, then you can buy them from just about anywhere, I guess. You know.
and you'll get a few hours, couple hours out of them, right?
It depends, and then again, it depends on the management. It depends on the man behind the birds. And if the loft is set up in the proper way, even with regular store-bought birds, you can still get 3 to 5 hours out of them if they're managed and they're housed correctly and they're healthy.
So I know I'll wait till more questions pop up. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask.
Is there anything else you wanted to ask?
No, he just said back, hey, Mark, do you have any other questions as far as tipplers? As the questions pop up, I'll just raise my hand so you know, and then we can jump to that. So just getting back into the competition side, right, Stan? I feel like, I don't know if we did or didn't. I was a little distracted over there when you were talking, but can you just give us a breakdown of how it works on competition day? Like what happens, right? There's different types. You have a honor system. You have a judge.
Right.
How does it work? And how many birds are up? How many birds come down?
Right.
How does all this work?
All right. In the United States here and in Canada, we have 2 systems. And I think that they probably have it over there in the UK. But you have the official system whereby you have another member of the club come and referee your birds. And he has to be there from the beginning, the very beginning, till the end. And he can be relieved by other people, other members, anytime during the day. But there has to be somebody there to see that the birds are flying according to the rules. Okay? Now, with the honor system, basically, you're on your own. And the rules are still there and they still apply. So you would release your birds in the morning. Now you look in your newspaper or on your computer and you find out what the time the official sunrise is. And then you're allowed a half hour to an hour before to release them. Okay?
Quick question, jumping in. Mark asked, are all tipplers high flyers?
No.
So Mark, there's your answer, no.
No. There's different. In my experience, the high flyers would be, and the competition birds would be the Lovets, the Hughes birds, the Canadian birds with the different families like Nino's, Bougager up there, he has high flyers. But stuff like the Bowdens, and there was some of the Welsh birds that we had years ago were very low flyers, and even the Shannon birds can be low flyers also. But then again, it depends on the area, okay? But I've seen Bowdens fly rooftop level, okay, like 40 feet from the ground, and that's where they fly. And to me, I couldn't take that because my heart would be in my throat. Well, anything that could attract them could cause them to drop somewhere. But the Bowdens and the Shannons are long-time flyers. I mean, Shannon did 22 hours. Bowden did 2020 and 2040 years ago. And they're a quality bird, but they do fly low. See, the reason for the low flying, especially in countries like Ireland and England, and then you get into, let's say, Serbia and Croatia and all like that, these guys are going to fly into the dark. And what you don't want are high flyers when it comes to the dark. You want them just over the rooftop so you can see them. But that's the reason for the low flying.
All right.
But in my experience, Canadian tipplers, the old style and the new style, were basically higher flyers. I mean, I've had my birds on contest day up there, let's say 5 birds, where you had to look real hard for them and hoping a cloud would come by and, they'd go by the cloud and you'd be able to see them. But you had to keep your eye on them. You blinked and you lost them. And they were flying like that. This was when COVID happened. So we were all at home. And I flew the birds 1438. The first 5 hours, they were up there in the pins. And then after that, they came down to a medium level, and they continued at that. Usually when they're feeling good on a contest day, they're going to be up there. You might not see them for an hour, okay? Because they'll be routing this way and routing that way. They're feeling good. The energy that's been built into them is they're using it, and they're right up there, up in the clouds.
This is a random question, but before competition day, do you lock the birds up and like kind of keep them confined so they want to fly more?
Yes.
Like, do you keep everything shut and dark?
Right. It's like, for an example, it's like a dog when you have them chained up on the outside, right? And then you take that chain off of him, and he's running all over the place to use that energy up. The same thing with the tipplers. The tipplers, if you want to train the right way, the tipplers are in a section of the loft, and they're in their own individual boxes that are like 15 inches square, and they can't see one another. There's like it's like a cell. Okay, they can't see one another, and they're fed and they're watered in that kit box, individual kit boxes. Okay, and the reason for this is to conserve the energy. If you have an open loft where the birds are flying from the perch down to the floor, then out to the aviary, back and forth all day, they're using all of that energy up. You want to store that energy and only release that energy on the contest day or on training days. Other than that, they stay in those boxes, and the boxes are ventilated on the front. You don't want to close them up. And this way you'll know, and you have a little block of wood that the bird can perch on, okay? And when the bird his droppings, you'll see if they're solid or if they're watery, then you'll know there's something wrong. But usually you want those solid droppings in there, and you'll be able to see it. Plus, you're controlling the feed. Some birds, when you feed them, like a mixed feed, some might pick all the corn, some might pick all the peas and stuff like that. When you have them in these boxes, you are controlling their feed. You're giving them what you want to give them, and they have to eat it.
So what do you do? Like, I know even with my birds, I don't have tipplers, but my birds or other people's birds, they get picky. Is that from overfeeding, where they leave certain grains behind?
Wait, I can't hear you.
So I know for some birds, right, they get picky when it comes to the feed, and they stop eating certain grains. Is that from overfeeding?
That's overfeeding. Now, they have to eat what you put before them. Now, basically, a tippler eats about 25 to 27 grams of food. In the wintertime, it's going to be more because it's cold. They need the heat, the body heat. And they're not on a training mix in the wintertime, okay? But during the training, they're around 25 to 27 grams of the conditioning feed, like a depurative, and that's what they fly on. But if they pick, maybe they might not need that 27 grams. If some bird's bigger, he might need a little bit more. The hen is smaller, she won't need as much, but they're going to have that right in front of them. So it's controlled feeding.
So you don't introduce more feed until everything is empty?
Yeah, you put that, it's like a NyQuil cup, okay? That's approximately 27 grams, right? They get that in a little bowl, and that's what they eat. And you don't give them anything else. That's their diet.
So say you have two birds. One is finishing all the feed quickly, the other one is not. The next day, you would give the bird that ate all its feed to eat for that day, but the other one you would skip. You would let him finish what he has in the bowl.
He still gets the same amount.
Okay.
They would still get the same amount. If they're leaving food, okay, whatever they leave, you take away.
Got it.
Okay, and then you might cut back on their food a little bit, maybe a gram or two, whatever. But if they're leaving food, you take it out. You don't leave it there.
Okay.
And you let them have a good drink of water. Okay.
Okay.
And then the grit you'll have there with them. You give them grit once or twice a week. It doesn't have to be in front of them all the time. With the breeders, yes.
Do you guys have any other questions? Feel free. Okay, Mark says, any feed that seems to make them fly longer, like barley?
Well, barley is a training food. It's not going to make them fly longer. What you want to do is give them the higher carb. They say it's high in carbs, but in my experience, you need something more than that. They're not just going to fly on barley alone. So you have to have the wheat, the rice, and anything. If you're going to feed them corn, I don't feed corn in the summertime. And then the seeds, you can also give them the high carbohydrate seeds. Niger, millet, white Kaffir corn, or even red Kaffir corn is high in carbohydrates. So carbohydrates for flying, not just barley. If you want to make you can get a depurative mix and use a depurative mix for your training food. That's what I do. And then you can add to it or subtract to it from it, whatever whatever it has in it. Some are richer than others, the depurative. So basically, it's barley, wheat, kaffir corn, and maybe some safflower seed in there. Okay? And the percentages, it could be 40% barley and 20% wheat, and until it makes up 100%. But that's their training food, okay? And when they're trained on that, when they come down after a contest, not a contest, after a training fly, you got to give them the peas to rebuild the body, because they're not going to rebuild that body on the wheat and the kaffir, okay? You need the protein. You would substitute peas, or even like you can buy a no-corn bag of feed. You can take like half of that, 13 grams or something, and introduce that along with the training food. So you got to put back into them what you're taking out of them. If you're going to fly them on barley and think they're going to fly hours and hours and hours, unless you've got a real good wind, it's not going to happen. Not here anyway. That's in my opinion.
Okay. I know we got interrupted with a question, but so let's. I kind of even forgot where we were on the competition flying. You said something about the judge 30 minutes or something.
Oh, okay. We'll get
so
okay.
We'll continue there just till more stuff pops up.
The judge, if you got another member coming by to judge your birds, he has to be there from the start, from the release time. Okay. Usually they get there earlier. Okay, 15 minutes or so early, and he has to be there the whole time. And you're going to have to feed him the whole day. You can't expect them to sit there, without eating. And he has to be there the whole time. If he's not, if you have somebody else, another member, club member, to replace him, that's fine. But there can't be no gap in between. It's one comes and one goes. And somebody's got to be there all the time.
So can anyone be a judge, or you have to have certain qualifications?
Usually a club member or anybody that's authorized by the club.
Okay. So as long as they're a club member, they can...
Well, I don't know what the current rule is, but it has to be somebody that's knowledgeable about Tippler. You just can't get anybody off the street.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Just
they wouldn't know the
rules,
rules, and they probably wouldn't want to read the rules.
Yeah.
Okay. Right? You have to have somebody there that's believable, that knows what's going on. But if you're on your honor system, then you're the one that has to look in the mirror and know that you didn't cheat. You followed the rules according to the rules, and the birds did everything. When the signal was given, the birds came down, they dropped within the time, they were trapped within the hour, and the bands were recorded as they're supposed to be recorded prior to release. Okay, and were the birds split at any time? If you could see the birds all at the same time, it's not considered a split, okay? Split is when you got two birds and then you can't find the other one, okay?
Does that, so how does that work? So how many birds go up, or how many birds do you use in a fly on competition day?
Well, usually,
I remember last time you were telling me.
It's 3 birds.
Three birds?
But you can fly, usually it's 3 to 7, but the more you fly, the more chances you have of getting disqualified. I put birds out, 7 birds. One dropped after a half hour. The other ones, they kept going for 13 hours.
Wow.
So the more you fly, the more chances you take. But you should got to know your birds. You see them in the kit boxes. You know they're all feeling well. They're all looking well, and they're like this. They want to go.
So minimum is 3.
The minimum is 3.
And max is 7.
How do you release them? There's different ways of releasing them. Okay.
Max is 7. Max.
Well, on max is 7 in the normal contest, and then if you want to, they have a stock contest. You can fly 20 or 21 birds.
Oh wow.
Okay, but that's towards the end of the season, I think. But anyway, release. Some guys will put the birds in the aviary and then open up and have them go out and go up. Well, if you're a real true diehard bird, Tippler fancier, those birds are going to go up in near dark. The sun is just about coming up over the horizon, and you're putting those birds up. Usually, if you don't launch those birds up, that's freeing them at the time, one of them might land on a rooftop someplace and then, or another place, and you have 5 minutes to get that bird in the air. If you don't, you're out. Okay, so what we do, we get the 3 birds and we'll launch them. That's what the English call it, launching, throwing them up, all right? And you're going to have to hope that in that dark, it's not totally dark, but like I said, the sun is coming up, that those birds get up and stay together, and they climb up and they'll stay together. So it could be disappointing. Sometimes it doesn't happen. You're disqualified at the beginning. And then the other 2 will go for the whole day, and the 3rd one will drop away.
From your experience, cockbirds versus henbirds.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
From your experience, cockbirds versus henbirds, like what do you prefer to fly in a competition?
Gordon Hughes, well, from what I know, Gordon Hughes used to like to fly the hens because the hens are steadier flyers. But the problem, and I like flying hens too, but the cocks I haven't had much luck with flying a long time. But the hens, I've had 3 hens go 15 hours and 40 minutes here when I threw the droppers. And it took them 15 minutes to drop. So that was actually 15:55, but it was getting dark and I was worried. I had so many disqualifications flying over into the dark, and I didn't want it to happen. So I worked the droppers, and I was able to get them down with 3 hens, 15 hours and 40 minutes.
Wow.
But cockbirds, they can start showing the display, clapping and gliding. You want something that's flying steady. Okay, but hens, you have to watch out that they don't get eggy. So that's why you have them in the individual boxes. There can be no togetherness there. It's strictly that. And also, for droppers, you want hen droppers, because if you put the hens out and they're flying, they come down, and you want the time is drawing near to get them in. You throw some cock droppers out, you're going to start driving those hens. You'll never get them in. So with hens, and even with youngsters, when you're settling youngsters, it's best to have hen droppers because they don't chase the youngsters all around, whereas the cock droppers will. And you need the droppers. You need something that's active out there. You just can't throw something out there and they're going to stand there like a statue and not cause any attraction. Now, these saddle muff tumblers that I have, when I throw them up, they'll make big, wide circles. During that time, the kit is lower. They're probably maybe 40, 50 feet over, maybe a little bit more. And they can get in with the kit and bring them down. They're making a big attraction. You want attraction to come down right to the loft.
So these saddle muffs, they fly pretty well, huh?
Yeah, this year they were doing well. I use helmets. Helmets are pretty active also, but these things, when I put them up this year, boom, they're going around and around. I mean, and they'll be up there for 4 or 5 minutes, maybe more. And the kit sees this, and they're coming closer and closer. The saddle muffs will drop on the rooftop. The kit will see that, and they'll come down.
How many droppers do you throw out at a time, or
I was throwing between 3 and 5.
3 and 5.
But here's the thing: when you throw those droppers, the kit shouldn't see you throwing those droppers, because if they see you releasing those droppers, then you're the dropper. Because every time they see you, I know there's the droppers coming out then, right? So you get away from an area, or when the birds are like flying away, all right? Throw those droppers up. They start circling. They don't see you releasing those droppers.
So you got to condition and feed the droppers pretty well,
you
too,
keep
right?
You keep them hungrier, okay? You keep them slim so that they're eager to get the food. And if they're not eager, they're going to sit on that rooftop. They're not going to do anything for you. All right? That's why they have to be hungry. And if you throw a couple of grains, they'll be going back and forth on the rooftop trying to get those grains. The attraction will bring those tipplers down.
So from your experience with the different, what are the different droppers that you've used? And can you tell us a little bit about each one?
For the longest time, I've had the helmets and the saddle muff tumblers, and they work fine for me. Other guys, some guy up in Canada, up until years ago, you had to use fantails. That was the club rule. No other bird can be used but a fantail. And unless those fantails are moving around, I had them, I didn't like them, I got rid of them.
You had the big ones, the Indian fantails, or the
No,
little
not the Indian
Indians?
fantail. It's the regular little
Okay.
little things. You can use anything as long as it's active, but it can't be a tippler. Anything other than a tippler can be used as a dropper. But like I said, you want something active out there. If you just throw him out, he sits on the roof and he's not doing anything. He's useless.
So with the saddle muffs and the helmets, what like difference do you see in their characteristics? Like if you had, let's say you had a competition today.
Well, yeah.
Which out of these two breeds that you use, which one would you use?
Well, I've been using the saddle muff so long, but there's only one hen in there, so I would have to throw out the one hen saddle muff that's settled there. There was a problem I had, and I'm not going to go into it, but the other 4 cocks I put in there, if I put them out, well, they're up and around, but I've got a kid of hens in there, 6 hens, so I can't throw those cocks out. I throw the one hen out, and if I have to, I might throw another cock out, but that's it. And usually at that point, that hen will bring those birds down.
So you have 2 different setups I see here, and they both have the saddle muffs. Those are the ones that are trained.
Yeah, this is just this coop was supposed to be sold, and the guy reneged on the deal. So I put a pair of saddle muffs in here just to breed, and they're usually bred in the smaller loft, the other loft.
Oh, was this the old German owl kit?
No. The other old German owl loft was sold.
I don't remember seeing this last time I was here.
The old German owl loft was sold to Ray Teflon.
Oh, he bought. Okay.
Yeah, this is something I made up. It's a portable loft. It comes apart in 15 minutes. Could be a good kit loft, but then you can also breed maybe 2 or 3 pair in there.
So this is available for sale?
Oh yeah.
So how much are you asking?
Like $350 for it.
Oh wow, that's a good deal.
Yeah, but it's all.
What is it? 4x4 all around?
It's approximately 4x4.
Wow, $350 is a great deal for that.
It's bolted, and it's texture 111 on the side.
Yeah.
It doesn't have an aviary, so the aviary would have to be built.
That's nice.
Corrugated rooftop, and it's well ventilated. It could be ventilated a little bit more, but
it gets the job done.
Yeah.
So if you guys are in the area and you need a kit box,
See, a lot of the guys I like it with a screened floor. This one doesn't have it. It has a solid floor.
Stan has one available. He's asking $350. It's right behind him.
It's all portable.
It's all portable. It can be taken apart quickly and assembled quickly. So.
Oh yeah.
That's good to know. Could you show us some of the saddle muffs? Like, could you take one out?
Yeah.
Do you mind?
Okay.
Just kind of. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask, and I'll let Stan know. And so Mark has another question. He's just asking, what was your very first pigeon, like breed, like when you got started in the hobby?
I used to have Budapest.
Oh, okay.
But they weren't the flying. They were the old style Budapest because
the show type with the short face, or
almost a show type. But they would fly around maybe 10, 15 minutes, and that's it. But they didn't have the flying ability. And then I started reading the old American Pigeon Journal magazine, and I saw flying tipplers. I learned about them, and then got rid of the Budapest, and I went into flying tipplers, and that's since 1971.
Wow.
So just a couple of years ago.
So right
all right,
here.
This is. Can you see it good?
Yeah, you can come closer if you want.
Saddle muff tumbler. They've got white on the wings, and I'm gonna have to put some stuff.
Spray them down.
Spray them down, yeah. White on the wings, and then the body is red. Okay, and even though they're not all white, they still make an attraction, and they cause the tipplers to come down.
And how long have you had this breed for? The saddle.
Years, a lot of years. 30,
a lot of years.
30,
okay.
30
Who
years.
Who do they come from?
I came from an old friend of mine, Bob Fahey. Okay, but this breed goes back in the Boston area, Massachusetts. This was a big bird back then, way like 100 years ago. And then after that, it fell into decline. There's still a club out there in Illinois, and there's still fanciers that have these, but it's few and far between. When you go to the shows, you're going to see very few of these. Okay, it's just it had its day, and fanciers aren't interested.
How does the muff affect the bird's flight?
No,
no, not at all.
No, these birds they don't fly that long.
Yeah, but okay, that's
true.
But
then again, birds with muffs west of England, I've seen stocks of west of England's flying, like 150 birds flying, and they went right up, and they were all together.
Wow.
So it's not, the muffs have no effect.
With hawks and things like that, I'm thinking it's a little tough, right?
Yeah.
You guys have any other questions? It's your chance now. When do you want to end, Stan? Another 5-10 minutes? 15? It's 11:46 right now. 12?
12.
12? All right. So you guys got about 15 minutes if you have any questions, on competition flying.
Yeah, competition flying isn't for everybody. You have to really want to be able. You have to have the time for it. If you don't have the time for it, then it just doesn't work. But you can still have a good fly out of tipplers on a regular management, good management, and flown on a regular basis. You can still get a couple of pleasureful hours of flying from them, depending on what you want to. If that's what you want. But if you're just going to be a pleasure flyer, then there's no sense in spending big money on the tipplers, because it'll just be a waste of time when you can get 2 or 3 hours out of regular birds,
Any question, guys? If they don't have anything, let me see if I can come up with something.
Yeah. You see, there's a lot of different ways of training tipplers to fly a long time, and this is just what I know. And there's different guys have different methods and different feeding habits and stuff like that. But this is what I know, and it's worked for me.
Is cheating like something that's happened? I'm sure it's happened, right?
Oh,
with the honor system.
Yeah. Well, you have to look.
How do you know? Like, do people get caught, or like, is it?
No, if you're doing too well, if you're putting in times of 14, 15 hours on a regular basis and you're there by yourself, then you should be looked into, because if you're expecting me to believe that and you're not a seasoned fancier that we know, then, something's wrong, because, a novice just doesn't come out of the clear blue and start flying 14, 15 hours. That doesn't happen.
Have you had any competitions this year so far, or when is the next one?
No, I had to go down to New Orleans, and then I was on the cruise, and so that put a kibosh on my training here. I had the 6 hens in training, and I had them up to 6.5 hours, but then I went on the cruise, and there was too much going on. This year I couldn't do it. But normally, you see, here's another thing. If you're going to fly tipplers, if you want to fly them competitively, there's more of a challenge with young birds, because first of all, you have to get the breeding pairs together in late January, and hopefully that they lay eggs all at about the same time. And then you raise the birds, get those healthy birds up, and then you've got to settle them, get them flying, and then get them contest ready. Whereas with old birds, my old mentor, Harry Hunt from Toronto, Canada, says it's for an old man, because the old birds have already been down the road. They know what they have to do. Once you get them resettled and they go out, and the time is going to pick up right away. But young birds is more of a challenge with it.
So they have competition for young bird and old bird?
Old birds, it's just like with the racing homers. You have the old birds contest first, and then you have the young birds, Right. And the season basically, it's short, because let's say you might be flying from April till July, right? And then in July and August, when it's hot and humid like this, and then a day like this on a clear blue sky with very little wind, and that sun is pouring down on their heads, you're not going to get them to fly a long time. Unless you know something, different, and you can do something. But usually when it's hot and humid, it's not conducive to long time flying.
So Stan, we got about 10 minutes. I'm not really seeing any questions. Can we walk into the loft and talk about the birds and the setup?
Let's do that.
Live? So this right here, guys, this is for sale. $350. It's a little bit bigger than 4. It might be 4 by 4 all around.
Yeah.
It's a nice size, definitely. And
don't go to the clue. Hasn't been cleaned, so
it's all right. So this is the main setup over here.
All
This
right,
is
the loft is 20 feet by 8, the main loft.
20 feet by 8, guys.
And the smaller one is 8 feet by 4 feet by just about 6 feet high.
Okay, we can go inside.
Well, you want to go in there? You want to see it?
Doesn't matter, wherever you want to go, whatever you want to show us.
That's a Gordon there. I just put that in because it's an odd cock.
It's a Gordon Hughes right there, and these are the helmets.
Right.
And he's got his saddle muff tumblers.
Right, and there's a yellow and a red.
Very nice. Oh, you got some babies too. When do you stop breeding?
Oh, I'll stop pretty soon. I was away for 10 days, so I couldn't stop it then.
See the babies? All right. Okay. And this is the main entrance. You guys remember on the last video?
Close the door. But these are the saddle muffs in here, along with a couple of helmets. But all of these have to be settled, and they should have been in the air flying by now. But because there was too much going on,
This is all young birds?
all young birds. And there's the blues, of course, are the Gordon Hughes, and the reds are the Darren Kelly reds. That's okay. That's okay.
It's closed, right? So
Yeah,
we're
it's
all right.
closed. Yeah, he's not going anywhere. But these birds should have been flying by now, and unfortunately, they're going to go out Monday or Tuesday. And,
For the first time.
For the first time, yeah.
So what's the training regimen? Like, how do you train them? How do you trap train them?
Well, they're going to get.
Well, they'll go in the aviary, right?
The
And then
aviary,
you'll
right?
call
And then
them
I'll release them from the aviary. But
Got it.
what we were talking about before, these are the individual kit boxes, and they're fed and they're watered just like that. Okay, so they would be right in front.
Got it.
Eat. This one's dirty.
And they'll eat right through those dowels.
And they'll eat right through those. So they stand on that. Okay.
Okay.
Now these boxes, I can divide by these panels right here. I just put them in, and this would be a bigger group kit box. But actually, it should be smaller, maybe not as high. But I've flown birds out of here. I've flown 13, 14 hours out of this one.
What's the dimension this way? Left to right?
It's roughly 4 feet. 4 feet by almost 3.5 feet.
What about this way behind us?
Well, it's 8.
8, okay, because the shed I'm getting is 8 by 12, so
Yeah.
this might be a good way for me to.
Yeah, and you can have one section for your breeding
Yep.
over there.
Yep.
Let me just grab this other
Yeah,
bird
grab
here.
this guy. Uh-oh.
Oh,
Another one comes out. Let me help you shut this side. Oh, man.
one goes, right? All right, don't worry. Don't worry about it. There, it's back in. Plus, these can be taken out. I can take the nails out, and this whole thing comes right out.
Gotcha.
I can clean it.
Nope.
And down here, there's more saddle muff tumblers,
Yep. Down
a
here.
couple of helmets.
I see you got a note here too, right? Is this for the?
Oh yeah, that was for my friend. Yeah,
Got
when I went away, telling him what to do.
Okay.
Plus, my invention of keeping it closed, right? Cheap invention. All right, now we're coming into. These are just all birds that my 6 hens, the 3 blues and the 3 reds. These other ones are just young birds that I'm going to keep in over
Oh shit.
till next year.
Sorry guys. I don't know how to flip it back. There we go.
This is the breeding section for the Gordon Hughes, with the exception that I've got one Shannon up there that grizzled. And the rest of even that in there was a Gordon Hughes throwback to one of my red corners. But these are all Gordons Gordon Hughes. Well, Gordon, that's what he kept. He kept the blues basically, but that's a story. That's a long story on that part.
I see.
So you can see them. And
All the
see
babies
the
are
back
banded?
up there, how it's blocked off. I
Yeah.
should have had that open by now, so
More
the air
ventilation,
can flow
right?
through.
Yeah.
But if you see the front is all opened.
Oh yeah.
So there's plenty of ventilation coming in here,
Yeah.
and even on the sides you can see. But I got to take that off.
That's designed where you can pull it off, right? Take the screws out.
There's 2 screws that
Yeah.
come out, and 1 screw right there, and the window, the air. Excuse me. Yeah, I got to open the door.
Hey, so Mark wants to know what's the best tool you use to clean your loft? Just a scraper, like
I gotta.
Let me show you guys. So this is what he's using right here.
Yeah.
The scraper.
And you can make your own by one of these. You know.
Okay, so you got a regular, and you added a handle with
That's
a couple
all.
of these,
Yeah,
and he's got a smaller one for the top.
Yeah, that's all.
So that's it. That's all he's using. And then he lays it down with kitty, right?
Yeah, kitty litter. The
Kitty
cheapest-
litter.
ShopRite kitty litter, red bag. The cheapest one.
Cheapest kitty litter.
Here's Darren Kelly Red, youngster. Come on, come on.
All right. Wow, man. And how old is this bird?
What is it? Right out of the nest.
Okay, I was gonna say it's small.
Yeah. And then I've got, there was a pair of...
Beautiful, man. I like the.
That Shannon was mated to that badge back there, which is a Gordon Hughes, so it produced these 2 babies right here, these badges.
Yeah, these 2 right here in the front.
Yeah. I didn't have room in the other section stuff, but basically all of these other ones are the Darren Kelly Reds from Ireland.
What do you prefer, the reds or the
No,
blues?
this is just the side. I prefer the Gordons.
You like the Gordons? Those are your
But I
go-to.
want to try these out and see what what the story is with them.
Nice, and everything is
And,
banded.
and these nest boxes were cleaned a week ago or
Oh,
10
wow.
days ago, but now they're
Yep.
but they were cleaned. I didn't have time to.
So you'll be pulling the bowls and tossing the eggs.
the bowls and everything else, and they'll be cleaned out. And there you can see the kitty litter on the floor right there.
Mm-hmm.
Just underneath the perches and stuff like that. And then
So you just use up.
So these are the Darren Kellys, and this is my breeding section.
All right.
And you can see it, Plus these perches are 10 inches square, and there should be a perch for every bird in the loft. You shouldn't have birds that are nesting on the floor or anything like that.
Got it.
So, like I said, here's the ventilation. And then even though, I should have taken this off too, see?
What's that?
Over here, all of
So
this
he's
should have been
got-
off by now, but I'm gonna take it
He's got
off.
the vents up over here on the side
Over
too,
that
and in the
there,
back.
So the air will be flowing right through there.
So you get that airflow.
Right.
And this is the fly pin.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think there's any birds in there right
No.
now, but yep,
No.
that's it.
No.
All right. Should we cut the end here, live here then?
Well, I guess that's it.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Maybe we'll do it again in the future.
They can contact me anytime they want.
Like you stay there, Stan, so you can give if you want to say anything, any last words.
I'm just another flying Tippler fancier that may or may not know more than the next guy. And I've done some good times. And I don't claim to be an expert. I just know some stuff, and that's it. But take it for what it's worth.
There you go, guys. So thanks a lot, Stan. Thanks for your time. We'll end the live here.